Oh boy, guys, this coming August 1st, we're going to see price increases from 5 different brands, if not more. I've got the scoop on 5 brands that are going to increase prices on their fragrances, and I'm going to let you know all about them coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. We're talking about fragrance houses that are soon to increase prices. We've got a designer here we're talking about, and then 4 niche houses. A couple of them I knew about for some time now. I wasn't able to report on them, and so they are increasing prices on August 1st. So we've got Chanel, we've got Maison Francis Kurkdjian, we have Roja Parfums, we have Wilhelm Perfumery, and we also have DS and Durga. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what the price increases are for Chanel and Maison Francis Kurkdjian, as I have the info for those two. As I said, I got the scoop on these from someone recently that gave me price increases to me. But the 3 other brands, I don't know the prices, that I don't have the idea of what prices they are. But the way I'm going to do the video is talk about some of the fragrances that I like from each house. And then if I have any info on their fragrances and what the prices are, I'm going to let you know. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Chanel. So Chanel is increasing prices on most of their fragrances, and all of the less exclusive fragrances will be raised in price. It's going to get a $25 price hike on either the 200 mLs or the 75 mLs. I don't think they have larger than these sizes. Maybe they do, but as far as I know, a 200 ml bottle like this is currently $425. Soon it will be $450 plus tax. So this happens on August 1st. If you're in the market for Chanel fragrances, go get your bottles now. It's $25 more. I mean, $25 is not that much, but then it is, because that is definitely pretty substantial price increase for fragrances that are already pretty expensive. So this is for the 200 mLs, and also I believe the 75 mLs are getting a $25 price hike as well. Also, just to let you know, there is a somewhat of a event happening at Neiman Marcus for Chanel Less Exclusives fragrances. So if you're in town, contact Neiman Marcus San Francisco. It's going to go on through August sometime, and I believe this coming Saturday, tomorrow, it's still in town. You can go ahead and visit and check out all the Less Exclusives fragrances. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Chanel Less Exclusives fragrances. I've got 4 I'm going to talk to you about. This is Le Lion. This is a great fragrance. It's become my #1 favorite fragrance from the Less Exclusives line. It's a great designer fragrance. Absolutely love it. It's very ferocious, really acting like the animal it's named after, and also because Coco Chanel was born in August and she's a Leo and things like that. So it's bergamot, lemons, with loads of patchouli, sandalwood, amber. It has a very resinous touch. It does have vanillic touches, and of course a bit lemony up top as well. For me, this is such a great creation from Chanel. It's very niche-like, because you smell fragrances like this in the niche world when it focuses on amber. For me, it's very ambery, resinous, balsamic, smoky, and leathery. And also, I should say, this one does get a bit reminder of Coromandel and also a little bit of Pure de Russie. So the next fragrance I'm talking about is Coromandel. This used to be my #1 favorite fragrance from the Less Exclusives line. Now it's my 2nd favorite, but still really great. It's a very intoxicating smell with the patchouli. There's frankincense here and benzoin. These are the notes that they credit on the Chanel website. There's probably a lot more, but there's definitely that kind of white chocolatey effect here with the fact that the benzoin is mixed with the patchouli to give you that chocolatey effect. Usually I mentioned that, when you have resins and amber and vanilla mixed with patchouli, you get that kind of a chocolate cakey effect. But here with this one, the fact that they're mixing it with benzoin, it's a bit vanillic, and they're not adding additional ambers. At least I don't think they are, and it creates for kind of a white chocolatey effect. It is really super delicious. If you don't know Coromandel, definitely try it. It is a patchouli bomb, so you must be into patchouli to appreciate that one. My 3rd favorite fragrance from the Less Exclusives collection is number 18. Number 18 is an Ambrette bomb. If you're into Ambrette, you got to check this one out. Ambrette is a musky note, comes from the hibiscus flower of some kind, and they take the seeds and use to create this all natural musk effect in fragrances. And so it has a kind of a medicinal touch to me when I smell this fragrance. But in the end, not only do I get the medicinal touch and also lots of musk because it's uber musky, under there's a bit of fruitiness and also a bit booziness. But for me, it's fruits and ambrette seeds. Super amazing, very unusual fragrance. You must really be into ambrette. Check out ambrette, study it, appreciate it, because it's a really great note that I love when they put it in fragrances to create the musky, accord. Either way, number 18 is super amazing from Chanel. It's an underrated one from that collection. And then finally, 1957. It's my fourth favorite fragrance from the Les Exclusives collection. And this one is a floral musky fragrance. It has floral notes, bergamot, iris, neroli, woody notes, powdery notes, honey. So in the end, it's very fresh. It has a major freshness about it. And it also has the kind of citrus flowers that I like and the muskiness about it. This is definitely a very summery fragrance that I really, really enjoyed. It came out several years ago, and it's become one of my favorite fragrances. After this 1957, I would say Boy would be another fragrance I would add here, but I'm only talking about these four. But definitely, if you're in the market for Chanel Les Exclusives, get yourself your bottles because the price is going up. And there's rarely any discounting on Chanel. It's funny, at Neiman Marcus San Francisco here, whenever there's a gift card promotion or a discount happening there, they never, ever, ever discount Chanel. I don't know what it is about this Chanel. They find themselves to be undiscountable. But either way, yeah, the price increase is happening. It's happening not only on the Les Exclusives, but the majority of the regular line of fragrances as well. So the next brand that I've heard about getting price increases is Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And I heard from someone that, the person that told me about this some weeks ago, they said that they haven't had a price increase for a while and it's finally time to get the price increases. And I actually have kind of a cheat sheet that I was given with price increases. I can't really reveal my sources or anything like that. But let me read you a couple of them here. Well, here, the ones I'm going to talk to you about. Like BACCARAT Rouge 540. This is a 200 ml bottle. And it retails for $6.25 currently. On August 1st, it's going to be $20 more. So the next fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Gentle Fluidity Silver, this one right here. And this fragrance currently sells for a 200 ml bottle for $435. But come August 1st, 200 ml bottle will be $465. So $30 more. So if I didn't mention, these are suggested retail prices, guys. So you can still find them at the discounters, but that's also going to affect the discounting. So if they're a higher price, the suggested retail, they're not going to go as low as they once were, if that makes sense, at the discounters. Sure, there'll be the rare occasions, but these are going to be affecting not only the suggested retail prices, also the discounted prices as well. So not much of a change between a 70 ml bottle of Gentle Fluidity Gold. So 70 ml goes for $235 now. On August 1st, it's going to be 70 ml for $240. So $5 difference. And then with Aqua Universalis Forte, there's not going to be a price increase on this one according to my notes. So $275 for a 70 ml now, $275 for a 70 ml later. And also the same thing with Grand Soir. The price increase is happening on that one. With that one, let's say here, Grand Soir. So 70 ml for $235, going up to $240 in the future, in August 1st. And then finally, Oud Satin Mood. This one's getting the major price increase. 200 ml for $565 currently, and then it's going up to $605 on August 1st. So the price increases are all over the place with this one. Some are not getting price increases. A lot of them are. So before I get to talk about the fragrances, one thing I want to mention, a lot of you are asking me what's going on with Masculin Pluriel. So this is the older version of Masculin Pluriel. And then currently the color has gone very clear like this, maybe a bit yellowish. So what has happened? From what I hear, it got reformulated because there were some ingredients that were banned or removed or weren't available. So the fragrance has gone through a major change. I don't know what the difference is. I haven't seen it out there yet. The old version is this. It's a fougere, by the way, like a barbershoppy fragrance. And I need to get my nose on it to let you know what that fragrance is all about. So a little bit about BACCARAT Rouge 540. Everybody knows this, right? This is a musky fragrance with the most amazing trail with Ambergris, Ambroxan, along with Saffron, Jasmine, and Cedar wood. If you don't know that one, you must get your nose on it and see what it's all about. You might like it, you might not, but the trail with that one is super amazing, very sexy, and you'll smell it everywhere. The next fragrance, Gentle Fluidity Silver. It's such a cool, crisp fragrance, perfect for heat of summer. It features notes of juniper berries, woods, musk, coriander, nutmeg, amber woods, and vanilla. So juniper berries always creates a metallic, cool, crisp effect, and that is for really hot days, I think. Well, it's supposedly supposed to be layered or worn separately with Gentle Fluidity Gold, but they're separately really nice, and they do layer nicely together as well, and they balance each other out because this is the complete opposite of the silver. The gold is more warm with vanilla, amber, musk, woods, juniper, nutmeg, and coriander. So there are some overlapping notes, but the crisp one, they've increased the aromatics and the crisper notes. With the gold, they've increased the warmer notes and ambery notes as well. Aqua Universalis Forte is one of the most amazing laundry-like smelling musky, citrusy floral fragrances. Really love it from this house. I've never really done the original version. I felt like the Forte is amazing as it is, and I like that whole clean vibe with this one. If you don't know Aqua Universalis Forte, definitely check that out. And then finally, Oud Satin Mood is definitely one of the better ouds from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. It's become a very popular oud. It does feature violet along with the vanilla, rose, and oud, and it does have a bit of a makeup effect. I realized that after wearing this one that it kind of creates a bit of a makeup effect, and I always get that when you combine violets and rose together. But either way, it's a great popular fragrance. This is Oud Satin Mood from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So these are the two houses. I know about price increases and what they are, as much as I can tell you guys, but the remainder of the houses, I don't know what the price increases are going to be, but just look, I mean, they're coming. So you're going to know what the prices are going to be once they're, changed over on August 1st. It's going to be increased right away. So it's not going to be like, okay, I'm going to wait a couple of days before it happens. It happens exactly on the 1st. Prices go up. So the house of Roja Parfums is raising prices as well, and I don't know when the last time the prices were increased for this house. I don't really keep up too much. As much as I find out, I want to report on it to you guys and let you know. But I'm going to let you know about 4 fragrances, and these are already pretty very expensive fragrances, so hopefully the price increases are not going to be too much. Let's talk a little bit about Isola Blue. This one right here, one of the latest releases from this house. It's definitely a great scent. It used to be called Oligarch, and obvious reasons they rebranded and renamed this fragrance. I enjoy it. It's kind of a fresh fragrance, but a bit musky. It has kind of molecular touches as well, but according to the notes, there aren't any molecular notes in this. It's all kinds of different notes like lemons, bergamot with blackcurrant, grass, juniper, apples, lime, mate, pink pepper, and on and on and on. Typical type of a fragrance from Roja. They just pile on the notes, so many different notes. This fragrance, not like other fragrances, you don't have to wait for the dry down. For me, when you first spray this fragrance, it smells great on its own. But typically with a lot of Roja Parfums fragrances, you have to wait for the dry down because that's where all the magic is, but not with Isola Blue. The next fragrance, one of my favorites from this house, is Sweetie Oud, this one right here. Sweetie Oud is using unusual notes to create a kind of a patisserie accord, according to Roja Dove. If you like the idea of gourmands with not using gourmand notes, Sweetie Oud is definitely one for you to try. It features cardamom, oud, oak, patchouli, olibanum, rose, labdanum, gaiac, artemisia, and a lot of different notes, but to me it smells like croissants baking or just pulled out of a oven where they're baking, and it's kind of a steamy, kind of a warm, steamy smell of croissants or other baked goods, like walking into a bakery or a patisserie. So Sweetie Oud is definitely a delicious gourmand. If you don't know that one, check it out. And Apex is a great scent. I really love Apex because it reminds me of Halston Z14. Halston Z14 is one of my favorite classic 80s fragrances. My dad and uncle wore that fragrance, really got used to and familiar with it. I have my own version of a Halston Z14 right now, or in a bottle, but it doesn't smell as good as this fragrance. But this version reminds me of that fragrance, and that's what I like about it. It's leather, balsam, fir, cypress, orange, patchouli, ambergris, tobacco, and moss. If you're looking for an alternative, a robust alternative to Halston Z14, you got to get your nose on Apex from Roja Parfums because it's really great. And this was one of my very first loves from this house, Creation E Parfum from the house of Roja Parfums. It's kind of, let's see, why are we having this problem? Here we go. It's kind of a boozy, tobacco, and also fizzy, Coca-Cola-esque fragrance with ambery touches and things like that. Really love this one with cognac, vanilla, tobacco, benzoin, ginger, styrax, jasmine, and patchouli. But either way, these are some of my favorite fragrances from Roja Parfums. Just be advised, price increase coming very, very soon. Sadly, I don't have the report on what the price increases are going to be, but just be on the lookout. They're coming on the 1st of August. Another house that's also increasing prices is Wilhelm Perfumery. Who's a fan of this house? It doesn't have as much hype as the other houses I spoke to you about, but they have some great fragrances created by Jerome Epinay. First of which I'm going to talk to you about is called Basilico and Fellini. This one right here. These fragrances are definitely really delicious. I really love these fragrances, but they are Byredo-esque, I should say, because the perfumer for this house also does Byredo fragrances, but man, they've created some really delicious smelling fragrances. Basilico and Fellini is very fresh with kind of a green, aromatic vibe running throughout it. And it also a little bit has a bit of a vegetal vibe because it's very green and herbal and things like that. It's basil with wild fig, dragon fruit, vetiver, green hay, and violet. And violet is kind of a keynote for Byredo, and it's Jerome Epinay, so he's created this, and I think he created Basilico and Fellini. But this is great. If you're looking for kind of a green aromatic, freshy, great fragrance, check that out if you don't know it. Another fragrance from this house I know for sure has been created by Jerome Epinay. It's a Lilac a Day. It's a great lilac fragrance. I think it's the type of bottles I'm trying to focus this, and it's having a difficult time focusing because of the type of bottles. But it's a lilac balm here with blue lilac, spring freesia, jasmine, galbanum, black amber, and rose. If you love the smell of lilacs in the springtime, this is a must fragrance. Really absolutely one of a kind lilac fragrance. It's very fresh, very floral. The next one is the vanilla fragrance from Wilhelm Perfumery. This is Poets of Berlin, this one right here. Again, we're having problems focusing. Here we go. So Poets of Berlin is kind of on the fresh side for vanilla with blueberries, vanilla sandalwood, vetiver, green wild orris, and lemons. It's great to wear in the heat, and it smells really fantastic. You've got all the freshness and the greenness surrounding this, and then it opens up and becomes a little sweet and vanillic, and it's so delicious in the warmth. Poets of Berlin, really great fragrance from the house of Wilhelm Perfumery. And then we've got the Eau de Fer here. The Eau de Fer is kind of like Tobacco Vanille for me with oud, but more like oudy take on something like Tobacco Vanille. It's not identical because it has tobacco with oud, and then it also has like vanilla, black vanilla, honey, ginger, and butter. Together, it's a really delicious combination. You've got all these great notes. Sure, it's going to smell a little bit like Tobacco Vanille, but then it's not really quite like Tobacco Vanille. But a great fragrance, wonderful offering, one of the best from Wilhelm Perfumery. This is the Eau de Fer from Wilhelm Perfumery. That's the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about from that house. If you are a fan, make sure to get your bottles before the price goes up. And again, I don't know what the price increases will be. Will it be significant? Will it be minor? Minuscule is what I was going to say. We don't know, so this is a bit of a mystery. But we do know that it's coming, so the price increases are definitely coming. And the last house I'm going to talk to you about is DS and Durga, a newer house for me that I'm really starting to dig into and discover and experience. With the very first fragrance from this, although I bought Italian citrus from this house a long time ago before they were in bottles like this, and also at a clothing store. I forgot their name. That is usually in malls. Anyway, that was my very first DS and Durga, But the very first in the newer bottles is I Don't Know What. One of my favorite molecular musky fragrances. It's supposed to be a primer enhancer. So you use this to enhance and prime other fragrances, such as fragrances from DS and Durga or other brands. I like it on its own if you want something minimalistic. It features ISOE Super, Bergamot, Vetiver, Acetate, Ambroxan, and Civitone. Really, really great fragrance. If you don't know this one, do check it out. You might be anosmic to it and you might think it doesn't smell like anything, but definitely check it out if you like molecular and minimalistic fragrances. The next fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is brand spanking new. I just bought it from FragranceNet. Discounted. I love discounts. This is Bistro Waters. So I like the idea of vegetal fragrances, and that's what this is. It features green bell peppers, lime blossom or linden blossom, coriander, there's moss here, basil, pear, mandarin, orange, and nutmeg. Sure, it does have very green vegetal vibe, and I can see the whole name Bistro Waters for this appropriately titled. So Bistro Waters from DS and Durga is great. And as I was saying, it might not affect the discounters that much. These are suggested retail price increases, but I'm sure it's going to affect the discounted prices down the line as well, because they're going to be higher priced and they're not going to go as low as they used to. The next fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Pistachio. Really delicious, gourmand, nutty, creamy, vanillic. And then of course Patchouli. And this fragrance does have a bit of a reminder of something like Mugler's Angel, but with a pistachio edge, a major pistachio edge. It's really, really delicious. I really like this one. Nope, it's not the year of pistachio, but definitely pretty solid fragrance here. This is Pistachio from the house of DS and Durga. Last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Leather Eyes, this one right here. Leather Eyes is another enhancer from DS and Durga. And Leather Eyes to me is so realistic in the leather smell. I think they've captured it perfectly. There's leather fragrances like, Tuscan leather, ombre leather, anything that smells like that. This to me smells like an actual leather repair shop or leather shoe store or something like that, because it smells like brand spanking new leather shoes. That's what it smells like. But it's supposedly an enhancer. So this is such a robust fragrance, it'll take over anything that's, like very lightweight. So use with caution. Use this with something that's as robust, if not much more robust. But it features butterscotch leather, cistus, cubeb, pale orris, cypriol, saffron, vegan castoreum, myrrh, and cade oil. I really like it on its own. Once again, two enhancers, two completely different enhancers here from DS and Durga, and come on now, there we go. Great fragrances on their own, by the way. So I don't know what the price increases for DS and Durga are going to be, but they are happening very soon. Look out for those. And again, one last thing I want to say, or did I say it already? I did already say it. It's the whole masculine pluriel thing from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Have you guys smelled the new version? If you have, do let me know what it smells like. Does it smell like the original? Because the coloring has changed. Has the formulation changed? We don't know. But if you're in the market for these fragrances, take advantage of it now. I do have some links in the info box for these fragrances. You can buy them now. But come August 1st, prices are going to go up. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this whole scenario of price increases. I know there's probably going to be more houses that are doing this. These are the ones I figured out that are doing it, and I wanted to report it to you guys so you find out. We have a few more days left, but it's going to be over come Monday. I believe on Monday is the 1st of August. Thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.